Uh, so let's take a look right in. The tank damage was extremely high on this fight. It definitely was a little scary, which was fun. Let's look at the damage here just so we have a exact idea of what it was. 112,000 damage taken per second, 40,000 external required, 55% melee damage, uh, a lot of decaying wound at the end, which I think is just probably bad management there. But it was a heavy hitting tank fight, so that was pretty fun. I ended up using Undying Gift Major, which I didn't really love, but it was sketchy. So I wanted something else to help save myself. Let's get into it. Something happened. Thank you. So we're pulling here. Uh, on pull, there's like shortly after the pull, there's an AOE around everybody. So we tried to go to the exact same spots. Brag's kind of here. I'm here. Our warrior DPS is over here. That way we're not cleaving each other. What's up here? So I'm just trying to be at max range here to not hit Brag or APOC with the circle. There's the circles. Uh, the strike goes out. It's a 25% total HP on Brag, and that's the cue for the taunt. It was definitely sketchy with the ads coming out. I really wanted to pay more attention to them, but I got yelled at for moving the boss. So I just trusted in the statue. Next strike is coming out. I'm just AMSing here, just weaving in stuff. Throw a D&D down on the ad so I can get some initial aggro on it. Same here. My thought is, and I think what we ended up doing was one tank held boss, nullifying strike or whatever came out, and then boss tank and ad tank flopped, right? And there's really, it's just scary times always. Like, I think holding the ads, especially while you're debuffed, is more scary than just holding boss alone. And which you can see by my HP here popping around. So we use an Undying Gift. I mean, looks like we got some value out of it. So I guess that's good. It just didn't really feel terrific, but it probably felt better than Crucible did. On this taunt here, so Brag's taking a Nullifying Strike here soon. I tried to wait to taunt the boss until I saw one of the ads get taunted, and what I could tell right there by the change in color. I don't want to be taking all three at once, just because the tank damage here is so high. So once I saw the ad get taunted off, I taunt boss, and I'm feeling much more stable. You can do like I guess you could do like a statue AoE taunt kind of thing. It didn't really seem necessary. DK you could just taunt and death grip one. That seemed fine. So after this strike, this is the 1, 2, 3, 4th strike, I think. This is our trigger to move. As you see, Brag moves immediately across the room. I'm looking for a soak here, but I see someone running in there with a marker, so I fuck off. It's really tempting to taunt those ads, but I want to be ready to taunt boss. I think I just got a proximity aggro or something from that, which is great. Undying Gift, just more for smoothing at this point than anything else. We've got it. We still got a bunch of major CDs in our pocket. We have Vamp, we have IBF. So Bragg takes the boss. I taunt the ads off of him so he's not just getting fucked by everything. I think that was my main goal, other than positioning. Just making sure that we weren't taking like all three things at once. This strike, I'm just dead ass in the corner, just to give the raid more time to kill the orb or whatever that we need to kill. And I'm beginning a strike here, so I'm just not going to move at all. I think I used a rune weapon there to start off. Ooh, spicy. Definitely want to fuck off here. We get the taunt, now we're moving. Gonna pick up some ads here just because I know Bragg has the boss. I think we threw a death grip on there. Even though death grip doesn't work, it acts as a pseudo taunt there for us. Taunts on CD, so Bragg's got a couple here. I think he ended up calling for a PS here. Here's our tracker there. BH just went there, so that's was probably a good call by Bragg. He was holding all three for a little bit. And around now is our trigger to start moving back to the initial spot. You can see he takes boss. I pick up ad.
Fucking A.
Fucking A is right, I guess. So try to be cognizant of this orb and how quickly it's going to die, and move the boss maybe this direction if needed. Looks like damage is pretty good there, so we can just move back in.
A little behind, let's vamp.
So we were behind there. So we did vamp a little early. I mean, we could use it. I basically just used vamp and IBF. It's just when I needed them. I had Undying Gift, I had AMS, and I have Lingering Psychic Shell. And I tried to rotate those infrequently. But I'm definitely falling behind here. Rod dead, yeah, yes sir. So we're transitioning here. So the thought of transitioning is we're going to center boss really like directly in the butt-ass center of the room. It seemed easier to tank the decaying strikes on the DK rather than the monk. So our starting plan was I was going to take almost every decaying strike, and then once I took the strike, Bragg would taunt the boss, and then I would mitigate through the strike. Strike would be off. I would have a couple seconds to like make sure I'm stable. I could retaunt boss before the next strike, and that was kind of the starting plan. We realized that the boss went immune doing that. We got like an 8% wipe. I think boss went immune after the third decaying strike. So the thought was we would force a swap using Bop and like have Bragg take like decaying strike number 4, call for a Bop on Bragg. That way the boss maybe still taunt immune would just go to me, and he could Zen Med or something through the strike. It's not quite how it worked out here. Let's just kind of let it go. So again, clean up ads, right? Clean up ads. I'm taking boss. Ads are off me, so I'm nice and happy. Thank you. And so I want to be dipping as Decaying Strike is coming. Decaying Strike is imminent here. So I probably could have done a better job calling not to heal me. I got hit at 69%. So I'm going to be taking some damage here. So we Psychic Shell. I think we AMS as well. We're really getting fucked. A nice Death Strike here. We Purg out. Real big Death Strike to bring us back.
Let me dip.
So I'm calling for the healer to let me dip. I'm going to take this one full again. That's bad. So I know I'm in trouble here. So I'm calling for an external. Ideally, I want to be taking those strikes at like as low HP as I can be, right?
Let me dip.
So this is a better example, right? So we taunt here, we audible to the healers, let Murdoc dip, let me dip. I'm taking the strike now. My HP is much lower, right? That's much better. Unfortunately, I think the boss at this point is immune. I can't see my taunt tracker. It's overlaid over my taunt window. Let's take a look at the kill log. So what ultimately happens here is I'm taking the boss and the strike, which was not in the game plan, but I think it was just kind of the nature of boss immuning at times. Sometimes it just happens. Let's see, do we have a taunt? Yeah. Okay, so a taunt goes out. That was immuned at 448, so soon. And probably that was like a follow-up taunt trying to save me. You can even hear me call. So let's take a look at it from the start of the sequence, right? So Decaying Strike is coming. We take it low. That's where we want to be. We start to mitigate through this. I'm expecting a taunt here, and I'm even audibling that the next one we're going to use Bop. I should have just called, when I recognized this thing was still on me, I should have just called the Bop myself. I think that was the answer in this situation. Just call for the Bop on myself, and then just force the boss onto Bragg at this point. The link there was really good. That's a really good link. And I'm still dotted with boss. We lived through that. Okay, we lived through boss. Decaying Strike. Okay, so let's look at that again. So we actually lived through that. Let's go through the start of the sequence, right? This is pucker moment. This is big time pucker, right? This is tank pucker.
Let me dip.
So we call it to dip. We take the strike. We took it reasonably low, although the Spirit Link is just saving us. We're even tanking the boss as well, which we shouldn't be doing. But I think that link really helped survive there. Otherwise, we probably would have been dead early. We take the strike pretty low.
Good.
And I think at this point in my mind, I recognize that he must have been immune. I know Bragg doesn't miss taunts, and he didn't. So I recognize boss is just immune at this point, and I call for a Bop on myself. I actually called for it during the pull, but It was just too much going on. I could have vamped right here. Fuck. 1 second left on vamp. Maybe we could have got it. We probably could have.
Wow, bot Murdoc.
Fuck. We had like half a second to vamp there, but we did call for the bop. We didn't get it. So at this point, we're in solo tank. When I'm dead and I know I'm dead, I like to just, that's all I say, solo tank. That's it, and I shut the fuck up. But I want to let my co-tank know. I think that's important. I want to know. So let's watch what he does. So Decaying Strike is really what we're looking for here, right?
Let's go, Bragg.
Let's go, Bragg. So here comes Decaying Strike. Bragg is at 95% HP. This is bad, right? No externals are available.
Oh, no.
That's bad, right? That's real bad. I think he said he was taking 1 million damage per tick of this. Old man reflexes. Yeah, fuck. Fuck, gosh, son of a bitch. I had to, I could have done better there. I could have done better. He must have, like, 4-brewed or something through that. I imagine he cooled out through that.
Let's go, Bragg. Oh, boy.
Okay, so he lives.
That's it.
Decaying Strike is gone.
That's a kill. That's a kill.
So I'm thinking, like, this is it.
Yeah.
Decaying Strike comes in. I think he tried to get a melee to taunt it, but for some reason that didn't work. Bragg gets it with a much lower HP, so that's much, much better. We're bleeding out here. We're going to lose both tanks. But in the end, we kill him.
Yay.
So I think the answer there, there's a couple things we could do differently. We could have just done a more normal taunt swap rotation and just had me take one, him take one. That way the boss isn't just getting taunted back and forth. That way it won't immune. We could have just worked in the bop earlier. I think if we still go with me taking all the Decaying Strikes, which I think is probably easier, maybe we bop on the third one or something, no matter what, always. I think we were waiting to see if it immuned, and then that cost us. But really, it wasn't too bad. I mean, there is some movement to look out for, some ad control. But again, if you're taking boss, the ad shouldn't be on you, and vice versa, I think. And Decaying Strike tried to take it while you're low HP. It was fun. It was a lot of tank damage, and that shit is a lot of fun, especially I think it's a blood decay because you're really spiky. But it was a good time. So that's right in.